Hi, this is Jeff, another blog to have a watch. Now this one, I want to share with you about why is it that I've got a number of products that I'm promoting, and why not just settle for one. Okay, well I'll tell you for why. Number one, I believe that what I'm trying to achieve is a complete, if you like, mature package which takes care of me and will take care of you. Now, I think the first thing is, what do you do for savings? Okay, now, what I found 2 years ago was Carrot Bars. Now, with Carrot Bars, all you're doing is you're joining Carrot Bars. You don't pay anything. All you do is you swap the currency, the paper currency that you have, which is getting by the day worse in value, for gold, currency gold, 1 gram of refined gold. Now, I'll go into depth at another blog about Carrot Bars, but it's a very good way of either putting money aside weekly, fortnightly or monthly into gold. You can actually get it sent to you and hold on to it if you like, or do what I do and just leave it in a vault in Switzerland, where it stays until such time as that we run out of money, which the banks are now. So if the banks have only got 65% of all our savings as a general rule. So sooner or later, like Venezuela, they're going to run out of money and inflation's going to go rampant. So you're going to have something. All right, so if it's not Carrot Bars, you're going to have to do something. I'd highly recommend that. And so I've been I started off putting one a week. Now it's just one a month. And you can do it as a business or just simply as a customer. I chose to do it as a business. Now, once you've got that sorted out, you've got to sort also what's going to happen in the future with money. Now, having spent 5 years, well, more than that, but 5 years intensively looking at all the different gurus. Mike Maloney probably is the most accurate one, I think. There are lots of others that I've watched as well and taken note of. But the new currency is digital currency. Now, you know that Bitcoin started off where it did, and then it went right down, and now it's back up over $700 for 1 Bitcoin. You don't actually own a coin, but it's digital currency. So having looked at them, I got into one called Coinspace. Now, Coinspace is about mining digital currency. So instead of buying a Bitcoin, you actually mine the Bitcoin along with the 42 others. Now, instead of having one little computer and just working on one coin, I rent space from a mega computer which mines all these coins. So it's complex that you need to go through and study it yourself, but it's in principle it's very simple, because you just buy a package. I bought a basic package, and then in a year's time it'll be double what I paid. And in the meantime, if people come underneath me, which I have, I get 12% of whatever they put away as well. So it's a pretty good return, and it's simple. It's that simple, but yeah, you need to study that one yourself. Okay, so that's the saving and the future sorted out. Now, then we've got to look at, I guess, the health, the body. Okay, now, being a heavy drinker and smoker in the past, in my previous life, my kidneys and liver and everything else sort of got a bit shot. So I've looked at nutrition and weight control. And so I joined a company, FGX or Forever Green. Now, it cost me a whopping $12 to join, but anyway, I bought the product in February of this year. I went on a 10-day ketonics program. Again, I'll explain more about that in another video. But I lost 7 kilos. Now, they told me once you lose it, you never gain it. Yeah, I've been on that many diets, man, that every time, you know, I mean, you don't get as big as me without going on diets and getting bigger each time you go on a diet, because your fat thermometer goes whoop, and so it says, okay, we need some more fat on the body. So anyway, that's another story. The main thing is that I found that I didn't gain weight. I gave it 9 months, and so 9 months, and so I now am back on it, and I started again last Tuesday because I wanted to make sure that what they said was correct before I direct a product to any of my customers. So having started last Tuesday, just gone, I've lost nearly 4 kilo already, and you know, I've got a month's program now. I did it just for 10 days. Now I'm going to do the 30-day program, and I know that it's going to do me a world of good. And on top of that, the company has what they call pain strips. And let's say you've got a stiff neck or something, you put the pain strip on, and it's unbelievable. You know, you just, like, if you had a stiff neck, you can just move it within 15, 20 minutes. And sciatica, man, I used to suffer from sciatica. You know, driving a car, I sort of had to be moving over like this, and you know, like one patch on my butt, just on my hip there, gone. And the good thing about it is it hasn't come back. That's the real beaut. But I also suffer from diabetes too. Now, what happens is you get neuropathy or peripheral neuropathy in your feet. Your nerve endings start to die. Boy, your feet are always in pain. Well, I put the patches on as soon as I got them, and the relief was just magic. It was wonderful. And the only other problem I had was getting blisters all the time on my feet, because I didn't know things were rubbing, or I put a hot weedy on there to heat my feet, and end up with these huge blisters, which would take forever to fix, or you know, to mend on their own. You know, anywhere from 6 to 9 weeks, and you can still see where they've been. So I decided I got to find something that because I don't want my feet amputated because I get gangrene or something. So I got onto a product called Radian, and I found with one, I had a blister on the back of my heel, and of course, remember, I've got no repair facilities down there because of the nerve endings. So anyway, I put it on. The next day, I couldn't believe it. It was like, gosh, that all that redness is gone. Well, I tell you what, which normally, remember, it takes 6 to 9 weeks. 1 week, gone. Skin back to normal. I just couldn't believe it. And I'm now in the process of doing the 90-day plan of getting the scar hair. And this used to be a real furrow. Now it's back normal. I've only been doing it like 3 weeks. But again, I've tried all the other, I've got the Christy Brinkley free stuff because, I always have taken care of myself, and I've always had, night cream because I just want my skin to look good. And I don't know about you, but I think I look pretty good for 65. And so we've taken care of the inside, now we take care of the outside. And I think that one complements the other. Now, what happens is when you've got all this free time, what are you going to do? because I'm doing an online business and, I'm pretty free and I don't have to be in any certain place. At the moment, I'm in the Philippines. But, I could be anywhere in the world. But the thing is that how do you travel? Well, travel is my passion. Now, I've been traveling since I was 13. I won a trip New Zealand to Australia. Now, every year I'm trying to get away. All right. Now, I've had and joined travel clubs. I've had probably 4 different travel clubs, all telling me I can do this, I can do that, and I can do that. And I've got other people interested, and they book and they go, this is a lot of BS, Jeff. I mean, I can't even get confirmation of where I want to go. And the particular person I'm talking about loves travel too. And they get away overseas. Both of them work, kids are growing up. And they can afford to. Well, I had a bad experience with a travel agent. We'd just booked a trip to New Zealand from the Gold Coast, and also we booked, at the same time, we booked our Christmas holidays, which was to go to Bali, spend 10 days there, then go over to Disney I've got 2 young boys, over to Disney in Hong Kong, and then spend another 10 days in Kowloon, and then fly back to Gold Coast. Now, I got their price and I thought, it's high, but it's okay. And then, just by a sheer miracle, what happened is a friend of mine said, hey, Jeff, I know you're into travel, have a look at this. Well, I had a look at it, went through it, spent a couple of days going right through the whole lot, getting all the tapes, videos, talking to people, and I was very impressed. I was impressed because they offered 110% replacement guarantee. So in other words, if I book a trip and I could find something cheap, if I could find something cheaper than what they offered 110% money back to me. All right. So I thought, well, that's pretty good. And the other thing they said was that it's 80 to 90% of the time that the prices on Trivago and Bookings.com, Hotels.com, Expedia, and by the way, all of those are owned by 2 companies, but they do have 80% of the market. And because the travel industry is $8.1 trillion, it's the biggest industry in the world, and only getting bigger because people are more mobile. They just want to get out and see the world, and like me, and I encourage you to do the same thing. And again, the type of product that I have is that you don't have to buy into it. You can use my portal, and I get rewards, a bit like flybys, or you can do what I do and that join the business. Now, going back to that trip that I had over Christmas, I actually saved just a tad under $3,000 for the same trip. Now, there's another holiday for the family, I mean, goodness gracious me, and to think that we go along to the flight centres and the holiday worlds and the hello worlds, and they all very good service, and yes, they do it, but none of them have been and stayed there. I mean, I decided to, a couple of years ago, we went to Bali, and I said, well, we'll just book it through a travel agent. I can't be bothered getting onto the internet and that. Anyway, they put us in this poxy little place that for the 4 of us, which honestly, you had about that much room between the bed, and there was 4 of us. Anyway, I was furious, and many times, having travelled 13% of the world, I've been put into places that I didn't like. So that's why I decided, no, I've got to have my own travel portal. And I love cruising as well. So, you know, I can book the cruise, I can book the flights, I can book the rental car, and knowing they're all cheaper than whatever else is out there, and I can book my flights as well. And the flight I booked here, you know, to Manila, it's not very far, 8 hours from Sydney. You know, I saved $300 on getting it through anybody else. Well, you know, I mean, come on. We're suckers, really. You know, and I put myself in the same category. Until you get into something like this, you know, you're just giving your good money away, and you don't need to. So, you know, I encourage you, whether it's My Portable or you get into it yourself, TripSpin is the one for me, and as all those other products. And again, I just encourage you. So if you want to know more about any of the products, just simply click on the link, and I'll get back to you. And if you want a free 30-minute consultation, we can book a time on the calendar, and I can tell you more about it. And you know, if you'd like to do it, great. If not, well, that's fine. Stick with what you got. Pay more. I don't mind. It's your money. And I just want to leave you with the last note on that, which is we're going 5-star all the way with this travel. Not because I'm a pluter, it's because I'm paying 3-star prices. So what you pay for a 3-star, I'm staying in a 5-star. I love it. And we're staying in for Hard Rock Cafe in Bali over Christmas, all for the kids. This is all about my boys. And then over in Disney, over in Hong Kong and Lantau Island. And, you know, I mean, that's, well, I think better than 5 stars sometimes, but that's what you can do. All right, so as I said, just click on the link. I'll get back to you, and we can have a further chat about any of the programs whatsoever. All right, but remember that if you do join jeffmcgill.com.au, well, I'm going to help you every step of the way. You're not on your own, and you will learn how to actually use the selling techniques, which you can hook onto my free selling program on the website. And if you like that, I guess you'll like what else I do as well. So thanks very much for watching, and hopefully I'll hear more from you. Thanks a lot. Bye.